Okay, that was actually the reason I asked that, because if you were to put two parents here, the one who has heard this message, or two people who actually have no idea, about what we're discussing right now, and one of them actually gets to listen to this message and like, oh wow, now I see how I should live my life. I see where I should improve, the principles I should apply to this area of my life. And as I'm doing that, my kids are seeing me, they're
Mm-hmm.
watching and they're learning. And like you would say, the energy, is radiating, they get to one way or another, there's this effect, it has on the kids.
That's
Unlike
right.
when we compare to a parent who hasn't listened or had no idea about these principles and probably just, doing like, however they please. And the children are apparently not getting anything, from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
so
That's right. And that's why the Jews are so prosperous, because they live by these principles. And it's not like something you have to learn, it has become their culture. The practice of these principles have become part of their life.
mhm.
Even in America, I was talking to, okay, this principle is glaring. So the nation will prosper. Jews as a people practicing the principle will prosper. Any country that practices this principle, anybody, and then if you now find that in the whole nation, 20% of people are practicing these people, the light of 20% is enough to ignite the whole nation. The nation will prosper. So you're right. So by what I do in my family, let's give a quick example. Here in America, before I became stable enough, I've been in the country for 4 years now. So we came in, took some time to get your papers to work, and then you work here, work there, and then you find out, no, I have never been in my own case, I have never been in a secular job. I always create my own job. I've always been a CEO, maybe a big CEO, maybe a small CEO, but I've always run my own business. So when I came into America, of course, this one manual job here, one factory job there, and so on and so forth. All right. Before it took me about 3 years to stabilize. After 3 years, before I came fully into IT, established my own IT training company. And like it was before I came into depression and lost my magic wand for a while, for about 7 years. Almost everything that I did in that era failed. As a matter of fact, I was getting so used to failure. But before then, everything that I did, everything that I touched was successful. Successful might not mean that I have billions of dollars, but it just means that at least to the level that I can think, I can crystallize, I can make things work. All right. Now I'm thinking at a higher level because of what I have gone through. Anyway, so within that time, things were failing. This era of depression that I kind of lost control of my mind. All right. Then I almost got used to things failing that I forgot what success was again. But sometime I said, things just happen. Things will just push you. Things will, lines will fall to you in pleasant places. And then I just said, okay. But I never stopped trying. I was always trying. Then I tried again, and then looks like this time at least I got result. Okay, result. Okay, let me see. And then 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. That was how I came back into owning my own business, which is thriving and doing so well today in the US. Now, before I came to become CEO again, running my own business and doing well, like my businesses used to do well before this era, so many things, so many waters crossed the bridge, or how is it said? All right.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did was delivery. One of the many jobs that I did. Delivery by itself, delivery, food delivery. Correct? Somebody has to learn from me. That's me. I did food delivery in America. So the delivery entails that you use this, it's called gig economy generally. This economy where you no longer have to go to work 8 o'clock every morning. When you wake up in the morning, just log on to the equivalent application app, and then you log in, and then you just start to work from there. If you don't want to work, that's okay. 8 to 9, I'm done working. And then once you are ready to work, you log in, and then they just begin to assign you jobs. They are just like Uber would do, exactly like Uber, but this time you are not carrying passengers. You are picking goods or food or grocery from one point, and then you are delivering to another point. And before delivery, I had worked with Spectrum, I had worked with Texas Instrument, I had worked with Southern Link. By name, these are big companies, but I did not find fulfillment at all working for. And then I worked, this some other factory was two small names that may not make impact if I mention them. So in this delivery, the delivery would be pick up an order and then deliver for maybe $5, which is small money compared to the thousands of dollars of bills that you got to pay in America every month. But do you know that even from this delivery, I was making like $1,000, $1,500, depending on how much effort I put per week. $1,000, $1,500, $1,300 per week. That is good money. $6,000, $5,000, $4,000 per month in America. That is good money. All right. Now, what am I saying all of this? What's the point that I'm trying to draw? That even though the actual work that I did in delivery would be worth only about $400 for the week, I would still make like $1,000, $1,200 for the week. Why? Because people here in America, they have imbibed some of this culture naturally, some of these principles. There is something called tip. It's almost an offense, or almost like not offense. It's obligatory that when somebody delivers a service to you, that you give that person a tip on top of whatever he charged originally.
Okay.
It's called tip, not bribe. Tip. Have you heard of that before?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. So they give tip. So people would place order that normally should be like $6 or even $4 or $5, and then give me, not just me, the industry generally, tip of $10, $15. Sometimes you pick an order and you get tip of $35 on top of what you should be paid. You get it?
Yeah.
$20, $15, $35 extra money. And this is the culture of the entire country. Then tell me, how would that country not prosper? Because of the light that individuals in that country is carrying by their practice of principle. How would they not be light collectively by their practice? Look at that principle. It's practice of principle.
True.
Nobody put a gun on their head. If they did not give tip, the job would still have been done anyway.
Yeah, true.
But out of their benevolent hearts, out of what they learned from their father, from their great-grandfather, and sometimes they give to their 5-year-old, their 7-year-old, their small child. The delivery man is coming, go give this to him as tip. And then the child will just come and, even on their own, the 9-year-old will order and give you a tip, $5 tip, $2 tip, or put it on the app so that even if it's not cash, you already see it on the app. So this is just consolidating on the point about you training your children the way they should go, so that when they grow up, they don't depart from you. And they are growing into prosperity without extra effort, just because of your practice of principle. They inherit it from you. So you are right. And then these people will just come into prosperity, into beautiful life, into life where lines are falling to them in pleasant places. And then you are saying that they do not deserve it. Do you know how long they've been practicing just the principle of giving? Maybe you are giving your own and calling it tithe. Maybe you are giving your own and calling it offering. But look at this, people. Do you know how many things they order on a weekly basis? And for everything, they have to give tip. And then when the money is now returning to them in their businesses, in their stock market, making profit, in whatever they do, the money is returning to them. And you see, na juju. It is principle working for them. And then do you know how and then I'll call my other colleagues that are doing the same delivery. Right now, we are all doing very well in our respective businesses.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. None of us is earning less than $10,000 in whatever we do. And then somebody was asking me, do you earn $10,000? The month that I earn $10,000, I'm going to lock myself up in a room and find out what am I doing wrong? Why did my income reduce to $10,000? I should be earning much more than that. But look at the humble beginning. Look at the beginning that we had to go through to reach the stage where some of us are now doing $25,000 in 1 month. If you told me 2 years ago that I will earn $10,000, I'll tell you, you know what? Once I earn $10,000, you know, like the militant will say, I'm okay. I will say, I'm okay. I've arrived. Now, these are the figures we are doing. And then we'll call ourselves and say, my guy, you know what just happened? I just delivered from this restaurant and I got a tip of $25. And we are blessing these Americans. We are saying, oh, how could people be this generous? How could people be this? They don't go to churches like we do. They don't have to pray hard. But even before they say their prayers, look at the ways that they're already prospering by their practice of principle.
Yeah.
We'll pray for them. We'll pray for America. We'll say, God, if we hear that Donald Trump was making a speech, I was ready to tune on to radio and listen. I was beginning to feel, I was impacted. I was beginning to feel American. I was sold to the concept, to the idea that if people could be this benevolent, and then they would even go extra mile to do stuff for you. And when they meet you, even when I was doing cabling and I was moving from house to house, installing cables for people, they would almost hug you. Oh, thank you, cable man, for installing this. They are so, to say nice is just an ordinary word. The practice of principle is really evident in their lives. So for that reason, if you carry America, the Americans in America now, you relocate them to Nigeria. And you carry the people in Nigeria, you bring them to America. With this practice of principle, with this concept of love, with this ideology, Nigeria will become America. Not because of natural resources, or just because of the practice of principle and the benefits that it brings to every individual family, and how all the families will work together as a community and how the communities will work together to form societies, how societies would ultimately become the nation.
I totally agree with that.
This is the practice of principle. So if you are now in a family where billionaires are raised because of their practice of principles, the children will naturally or should naturally inherit those practices and practice them as partners. So what they do, it becomes their own tradition. And then they don't even have need to go and see every demon that is carrying my money before it gets to me. Die. There's no need. There's no need. You don't have, what would a typical person that is practicing principle pray for? What do you need to pray for? There's no need for prayer. In fact, the practice of principle will even be such that you understand that the long life is already waiting for you. Because this is not just at individual level. This is also, they are not perfect, they are not God, they are not there yet. But even to some extent, you just see that this society is taking care of their old. You deliver to a whole Sheraton building kind of place, and what do you have there? Just old people being catered for, like they're in a boarding school, like they're in a boarding house. They come out to eat, they have, fellowship together. I mean, not religious fellowship, just they are taken care of. The medical system is there. If you are ill, there are people under the Obamacare that will have access to medication completely free of charge. Is it housing? So a community, a country that is taking care of all facets of life, how would it not be blessed? Then why would it need all the shouting and all the prayers when the things that they are praying for have already been given, even without prayer? This is the work of principle. And when I say practice principle, this is a typical example of a community that is already practicing. Maybe they don't even know that they are practicing principle, but it does not matter. Ignorance is not an excuse. All right. So as long as you are practicing principle, whether you are doing it consciously or you are doing it unconsciously, it's the same way if you are when you are disobedient and you commit an offense. That I did not see the traffic light or one thing or any reason that proves that you are ignorant of that law does not vindicate you. You still be punished.